Welcome to previews and predictions for Extreme Rules from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We're going to be talking about the main matches, our analysis that may be possible outcomes, and also if the Fiend Bray Wyatt is going to come back or not. Paul, this is Extreme Rules. This has a lot of attention. It's a lot of eyes, expectation because it's not the Extreme Rules that Vince McMahon got us used to. Now it's Triple H. Every match at least has a kind of a stipulation. We're told that we're not going to see blood, but what are your thoughts? Are you really thinking it's going to be a good pay-per-view, or it might be flat in the end?
No, I think that there's enough meat on this bone that I think it's going to be a pretty decent pay-per-view, especially with the intrigue of the Fiend. Now, that being said, if the Fiend doesn't just, or Bray Wyatt or whoever this is, just straight up appear, be like, okay, here's the reveal. You need to do a major tease that all but confirms who it is, because you can't keep leading fans on like this, because otherwise they'll lose interest. They'll be like, oh well, fuck it, it's bullshit, they don't know what they're doing, it's the spider in the cage again. Remember that bullshit gimmick, what's in the cage, and then we find out
Eric Rowan.
Eric Rowan, it'll be the same bullshit like that. It'll just be a wild goose chase to nothing. But no, I think there's a lot of decent matches booked for this. Some of the stuff maybe not so much, but I do think Triple H is going to put on a good show. He has a lot of intrigue, and the one good thing that he has on his side is every other wrestling company that really has any major push and clout is shooting themselves in the foot and self-destructing right now, and WWE is at least on the rise, so they got that going.
Exactly. Barry, that's a great point. So your family be with us for right now, and don't forget also to check the video from Bound for Glory Impact, and we just did this video 2022. Josh Alexander beats he retained the championship. He beats Eddie Edwards, and now Bully Ray comes back. He's an active wrestler again. He's gonna cash in the title match that he earned in the Battle Royal. So this is gonna be interesting, and also a great match between Jordan Grace and Masha Slamovich for the Knockouts Championship. Paul, also we thought that it was like we said, a pass. At least it was interesting enough for what it is. Impact Bound for Glory.
Yeah, you want to hear our full thoughts. We talk about every match on the card. Go check it out. Give it a thumbs up, comment. Did you watch? Did you even know it was happening? Or were you watching AEW and SmackDown? Let us know in the comments.
Rampage, absolutely. You're right, Paul. So let's talk about, let's start with the first match that previews and predictions. Ladder match. Raw Women's Championship on the line. Bayley and Bianca Belair. I've said this before. These two girls had fought each other in a lot of stipulation matches. Remember Hell in a Cell? That was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This is different because I think my money goes on Bayley just because of Damage Control. They're going strong. Bayley, as a heel, is great, and with the help of Io Sky and Dakota Kai, they're really good. And I think it's time for Bianca just to drop the belt and start chasing one more time. At least for me.
I agree with all that, and I hope that's what they do. That's what they should do. But with Monday Night Raw, you had Damage Control on the ladders. You had Bayley holding the belt at the top of the ladder. Isn't when we usually see that image, that means the babyface is going to go over at the pay-per-view? That's not always. That's not 100% locked in, set in stone. You can set your watch to it. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. But usually when you see that, that means the babyface is going to go over. But I don't think that should happen here. I'm looking forward to this match because both of these women are awesome. A ladder match isn't too gimmicky. The only thing I will say is it does become a risk when you go, hey, we should try to do this, or I'll try to do a KOD with the ladder and you on my shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
And don't hurt yourselves. It's not worth winning a championship but then having to relinquish it because you broke your arm or you broke something. Have a good match. Excite the crowd, but don't hurt yourselves. My prediction, hopefully Bayley wins this thing, because I think you're going to see interference from Damage Control and all that. But
we're going to see probably Asuka, Alexa Bliss also to help out Bianca Belair, because they've been feuding right there, or maybe also Candice LeRae, all of the women involved. But like you said, don't hurt yourself. That will be the prediction for this match. Let's talk about this one, because we just saw this on SmackDown in the premiere, with the new commentary team, Wade Barrett and Michael Cole are the new calling team right there, and we saw Sheamus and Gunther or Walter going for the IC belt. Kind of a little bit stupid for me, because they have the main match and now they have a 6-man.
They really should have switched these, but again, hey, the Brawling Brutes and Imperium, they're gonna miss 2 pay-per-view payoffs in a row. Maybe they didn't want to do that. They wanted to get these guys on a show. And, it kind of builds a little bit off of, what they saw here. And maybe you build these guys up. You try to do something, a Hell in a Cell, or, you got to do something where it's just the two of these guys where there's no interference, no shenanigans, no shillelaghs, nothing like that, no bullshit. But, I mean, I think in this match, with everything we've seen now, I think the Brawling Brutes and Sheamus are going to go over. That's my prediction. This is a safe way to have Giovanni, Vinci, or, Ludwig, Kaiser, one of them get the pin, and, Walter can stay safe.
And exactly, because in the main guy is Walter. The other two are kind of like not lackeys because they're a good tag team, but
they're there. They can afford to get pinned.
Exactly. So I feel that that's a good way to put it at, and to keep the whole thing going. Because remember, Imperium on NXT also cost the Brawling Brutes the NXT tag titles. So there you go. That they can get another victory. That will be good for them, and then that way they can prolong their feud. That's really cool. I'm okay with that. So Paul, and now let's talk about this one, because this is one of the main matches on this show. Matt Riddle against Seth Rollins. This is going to be inside the Fight Pit, and Daniel Cormier, the UFC legend.
Daniel Cormier. Yep.
Cormier, I'm sorry, Daniel Cormier. He's going to be the guest referee right here. So this is going to be good because we've seen these matches before. We saw Matt Riddle going against Timothy Thatcher. I remember Tommaso Ciampa also being there. So this is going to be great. And you know that Rollins, when it comes to the stipulation matches, he goes all over the top.
And what
they're going to have a pretty good match.
And obviously you're here with me. And for those who watch the Impact review, what's the one thing I said? Booking and credibility really sells and makes things legit. You have the Fight Pit match. That's Riddle's blow-off match. Every time Riddle's had a big feud, this has been the blow-off. And, what better referee? You had Kurt Angle do the one legit Olympic, wrestler for a shoot.
Yes.
And double WWE legend and champion. And now you have Daniel Cormier, UFC champion, all this stuff. This has legitimacy. Nobody's going to watch this and go, ha, that's funny. They're going to watch this and go, holy shit, man, this is awesome. This is a contender to be match of the night right here. No doubt about it. Who do I think wins? Man, you're really in a tough spot. This is, to me, anybody could win this. You saw Rollins win the last one. Man, I think you got to put Riddle over here. And that might be controversial because people might still say, Riddle, is he really the guy? Is he really somebody who you want to push? He has baggage. He has this, he has that. But I don't know how many times can Riddle lose his own match to Fight Pit. So,
I have to agree with you because Riddle has lost so many main event matches, in pay-per-view and everything. It's you need the guy, and this is what did you say? This is his match. This is where he excels. This is where he needs to go over. So I think it has to be Matt Riddle. Maybe Randy.
And another thing too, because this is one thing. Monday Night Raw, you have Seth Rollins. He's going in two different directions. He's still feuding with Riddle, but then he's also involved with Bobby Lashley. Which one are you going? End it here with Riddle. Riddle gets the win, moves on. Maybe Riddle goes after Roman Reigns again, or Riddle goes after somebody else. He moves forward, he gets promoted, and Rollins can go after. Now he's done with Riddle, win or lose. Now he can go after Bobby Lashley.
Absolutely, I agree with you completely. So in this one, and also doesn't this remind you of the Lions Den? Ken Shamrock going against Owen Hart, SummerSlam '98, very similar thing. The closest the UFC did at WWE back in the day. We're gonna see right here, like you said, Cormier being there is gonna legitimize that big time. So that is gonna be really cool. And like you said, candidate to be match of the night. So let's go to the next one. And this is we'll see. A lot of people criticizing the way that Ronda Rousey has been hooked when against Liv Morgan in an Extreme Rules match. Liv showed in the past weeks a lot of more intensity, a lot of more risky spots, trying to go extreme. He went through the table with Lacey Evans. But in this one, there's no other way for me that you have to give the title to Ronda Rousey and Charlotte will come back. Although Charlotte said that when she comes back, she's going to go after the Raw Women's Championship. So there might be a little twist.
Yeah, you need to reshuffle the deck. Again, a Mia Yim would be great. A Deonna Purrazzo, somebody like that. Yeah. Not saying Deonna is believable against Rhonda because she's shorter, smaller, this and that. I think Mia Yim would just size-wise be more believable. But again, you need new women, new faces to freshen this up. Liv maybe shows that intensity in the ring, but she's still not a great wrestler. And to me, if you're just eyeballs, just looking at it, Lacey Evans is a better opponent for Ronda Rousey than Liv Morgan. But Liv
Yes.
Morgan's the champ. You know what I mean? So no, we're seeing this is the only Extreme Rules match at Extreme Rules. But no, I think Ronda's got to win. I think it's got to be decisive. This can't go no longer than 10 minutes. And Ronda's got to just, unfortunately, I think, beat the shit out of her. I mean, Liv should shine a little bit. There should be a moment where Liv looks like she's going to win. But no, I think Ronda needs to win this. Otherwise, man,
or at least a nice comeback.
Otherwise, yeah, something. But otherwise, you just bury Ronda. And, you might as well just release her then. If she's going to lose here, you might as well just tear up her contract, say thank you for everything. You can go home and to your farm or do whatever you want to do, because clearly they don't want to use her and she don't want to be there. I don't know, but to me, she's got to go over.
One of the two it can be. You're right. She just maybe just going through the contract, hey, give me the money, kind of like fulfill the obligation.
But regardless, even if she don't win, Ronda, Liv isn't the answer as champion. It's the same thing as, other people when I say, are they going to draw? Are people going to pay to see them? No. At least they're not going to pay to see Liv wrestle. They might pay to see Liv some other way, but not wrestle.
Be on the ice.
But the one thing, my prediction here, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey. I will say Ronda Rousey also. Maybe a return will be nice. We got to show the Legado del Fantasma now on SmackDown. Maybe Zelina Vega, something different. But we'll see what can happen. I mean, maybe Charlotte. I'm not sure yet. So we'll see what happens on that one. Oh, the next one, I Quit match for the first time ever. This is gonna be a really, really great match. I'm thinking these two guys can go, and Edge can make Finn Balor, even better, and Finn Balor can do the same for Edge. So at least it's a stipulation match. They have something with Extreme Rules. We'll see.
Yeah, and it's a stipulation that pushes people to the extreme, because it's not just, you had the schoolboy, my shoulders were pinned, or you were holding the ropes and I didn't have the leverage. No, you have to get pushed to a point where you have to physically say, I quit. And I mean, they had a long feud. He was the leader of the group. Balor took over after they kicked him out, this and that. So again, there's booking. Maybe the booking isn't the greatest, but it's long-term storytelling. You built to this point. They have some animosity because of what they did with Dominic, and Edge is old friends with Ray and everything. So this is all good.
And also Edge was like the leader of the group.
Yeah, Oh yeah, that's what I just said too. But this is good. And with all that being said, though, you might think, oh, Edge is gonna win, because he's the babyface and we want to see him win. And yeah, he is the babyface, and you should cheer him and you should want to see him win. But my prediction is still Finn Balor. I think if you hear all the rumors, big plans, they want to do a lot with Finn Balor, get them over, get this group over. Then it starts right here in this match, and he needs to win.
This should be like this, like you said, like this should be like the moment where like Finn Balor starts rising to where like he needs to be at some point champion at least. This is the moment. This is kind of like the match that like
have Rhea and freaking Damian Priest or Rhea and Dominic come out and they have Beth, tied up. And they're like, we're going to fucking throw her off the stage unless you quit. And Balor has him in some kind of submission. And he's like, I quit, because he doesn't want to see Beth get hurt. Do something where if you don't want to have Edge just flat out say, I quit, which I don't think Edge would have. I don't think Edge would have a problem with it. But it's all the booking. But again, this is another match too, which this could be the one that everybody's talking about when the show's over.
Absolutely. And let's go to the main event quick, Paul. Strap match. Karrion Kross finally came back to WWE. Unfinished business with a lot of people. Drew McIntyre, like you said, this is the toughest one to book. Why? Because Drew lost to Roman Reigns at the Castle, and here, like Karrion Kross needs the win because it's his first time on pay-per-view, in the main roster. So what do you do here? I think that like in this case, like you said, Karrion needs to move forward here, and a huge win over Drew can also like make him right away number one contender for Roman. So there, I feel that this is how you should book it. He got the upper hand during like this show SmackDown. So Drew might get his revenge. We'll see. But I don't know. Like if Drew wins, what do you do with Karrion Kross though? So my money goes on Kross.
And I think this is, again, you have 3 matches on this show. I mean, again, I shouldn't even sleep on the Bayley Bianca match, because that could be great too. But so you have a lot of matches on this show, even though they have stipulations, and some people say, oh, the stipulations is lazy booking, this and that. But I still think you have 4 matches on this show that are going to be really great. And this is going to be one of them. This main event here, whoever wins this needs to challenge Roman strong and it needs to be a feud presented legit and believable. I know people say, "Oh, The Rock at WrestleMania." No, that's the same thing like Bully Ray. You're bringing him back to try to pop a number. At least The Rock will pop a number. No, at least he will bring you buy rates and everything. But it's in the world and the landscape of wrestling and watching it. You know he's not going to win it. He's not going to come back for a full-time run or even a run for a couple months because he's making more movies. You know, he's making new movies every day. So, but back to this match. No, I think Karrion Kross should win. This is his first big feud. Drew, even though look at this guy, he looks like a Greek god. He's still good at selling that role like, hey, I lost, I've been down, and the fans cheer him, and it's like a comeback. Even though he's, you know, he looks like he should just kill everybody, he can still play that character, and it's good. He could be a player in the Royal Rumble. He could do something in the Elimination Chamber. Drew is always a guy who I think even if he loses, he can lose and still get himself over. But no, you got to have Karrion win here, obviously. But if Drew does win here, though, I mean, Drew's got to beat Roman then, because what are you bringing a guy back just to lose?
Otherwise, why would you sacrifice Kross?
But no, I think Karrion's going to win. They're going to do something. Scarlett's going to get involved. The strap. There's going to be something, I'm sure. But this is still going to be a great match. And like I said, 4 matches on this show I'm really looking forward to. And, you know, Triple H, I think, is doing a good job here. And like I said at the top of the show, it helps that every other company is just, you know, self-destructing.
And yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, like they're cashing in on that. There's no other way to say it. Thank you, Andrade. Thank you, Sammy Guevara. There you go. But what else are we going to say? We got to call it for what it is. That's the truth. So, family, thank you so very much for being with us. Don't forget, we will have the review of Stream Rules. We'll talk about everything that happened on that show. So be with us. And also don't forget to drop us a like, a subscription, a comment. You know, let us know what is like your expectations or your picks for like this pay-per-view. And, you know, Paul, where can they find us?
And that's Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. And of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...